All right, buckle up, everyone, because we are going deep today.
Deep into Super Bowl LIX, that is.
You've got it. And let me tell you, based on your searches, you all were seriously invested.
More than just the final score, huh?
Way more. We're talking searches that went beyond the stats and into some really specific areas, like you wanted to know everything.
I love that. It shows a real shift in how fans are engaging with the game these days.
Okay, so Super Bowl LIX, Chiefs, Eagles, everyone was hyped.
A matchup for the ages, for sure.
But even before kickoff, the quarterbacks were dominating the search trends.
Jalen Hurts, Patrick Mahomes.
These guys were practically household names already.
And the searches went way deeper than just, like, their passing yards.
Oh, yeah. People were digging into their personal lives, too. Like for Hurts, his age kept popping up, and the whole Alabama connection.
Right. And Mahomes, tons of searches about his family. And, of course, those Super Bowl rings.
Yeah, it's like you wanted to know the guy behind the helmet, not just the player on the field.
Exactly. It's like fans are looking for that personal connection, trying to understand what makes these athletes tick.
So it's not just fandom anymore. It's like, I don't know, investigative fandom.
I like that. And speaking of investigations, those MVP searches were off the charts.
Seriously, it was like everyone was trying to predict the winner before they even announced it.
The anticipation was definitely there. And the coaches weren't immune to the scrutiny either.
Nick Sirianni for the Eagles and the veteran Andy Reid for the Chiefs.
Now, that's a coaching matchup with some serious history.
Tons of searches comparing their styles, their records, everything.
It's fascinating how fans are getting so strategic, trying to understand the mental game behind the actual game.
Right. It's like you were all trying to decode the play calls, the adjustments, the whole chess match.
Exactly. But it wasn't just the big names either. You were digging into specific players' game situations.
Things like Eagles defense, sack records.
Even some searches for very specific defensive formations.
Wow, you really were going deep.
It's like you were all trying to piece together the puzzle of the game, understand how it all fit together.
So we've covered the quarterbacks, the MVP buzz, the coaching duel. But trust me, you didn't stop there. There were some searches that really made us go, huh.
Oh, I love those. The unexpected ones? The ones that make you wonder, how did they even get there?
Exactly. Like Super Bowl script. Come on. Did someone think the whole thing was staged?
Maybe they were just captivated by the drama, looking for some deeper meaning behind the big moments.
Or maybe they just wanted spoilers. But it does make you think about how much we love a good narrative, right? The underdog story, the comeback victory.
It's powerful stuff.
Yeah.
And it shows how sports can tap into something deeper, something that resonates with us on an emotional level.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've established that you're all incredibly curious fans, diving deep into the data. But before we reveal who actually walked away with the Lombardi Trophy.
All right, so we left off talking about how you all were practically sports detectives digging deep into the data.
Trying to uncover every little detail, right?
Exactly. And I know the suspense is killing everyone.
Oh, I bet it is. Everyone wants to know who won Super Bowl LIX.
Well, let's just say, based on the sheer volume of searches for Eagles Super Bowl champs and Jalen Hurts Super Bowl wins.
Oh, and don't forget, Broad Street celebrations.
It seems like the internet already solved this mystery.
Yeah, the digital detectives were on the case.
So, to confirm what many of you already figured out, the Philadelphia Eagles took home the Lombardi Trophy.
But here's the thing, you weren't just satisfied with knowing the winner.
You wanted to relive it, experience those key moments again.
Searches for Super Bowl highlights were through the roof.
And Jalen Hurts highlights, of course.
Oh, yeah, and let's not forget A.J. Brown Eagles. Everyone wanted to see his big plays.
It's like you wanted to break down every catch, every tackle, every single play that led to that victory.
It reminds me of how we used to gather around the water cooler after the game, you know? Except now, it's all happening online.
Yeah, it's amazing how technology has connected fans from all over the world.
Speaking of connecting, those MVP searches were intense.
It was like everyone was glued to their screens waiting for the announcement.
And the winner, as many of you correctly predicted, based on all those Jalen Hurts MVP searches,
Was, of course, Jalen Hurts himself. The Eagles quarterback led his team to victory and earned that coveted MVP title.
What's cool is that even before the announcement, you were all analyzing his performance, trying to figure out what set him apart.
Oh, yeah, those searches for Hurts rushing yards and stuff like that. It's like you were building your own case for who deserved to win.
It's like everyone became an armchair analyst, breaking down the stats and making their own predictions.
Exactly. And then there were those searches that were a little more off the beaten path, let's say.
Yeah, the ones that made us scratch our heads a bit.
Like Taylor Swift's Super Bowl halftime show. Now, I'm pretty sure Rihanna was the one performing.
Maybe they were hoping for a surprise guest appearance. But it does show how iconic those halftime shows have become.
They're practically events themselves, generating tons of buzz and speculation.
Speaking of buzz, let's not forget about the coaches.
The men behind the scenes, the masterminds calling the shots.
And you weren't just interested in their names and records. You wanted to go deeper, understand their philosophies and personalities.
Those searches for Andy Reid's Super Bowl rings and Nick Sirianni coaching style tell a fascinating story.
It's like you were trying to get inside their heads, figure out how they approach the game, and motivate their players.
And it wasn't just about praising the winning coach either. There were a lot of searches about Andy Reid's past Super Bowl appearances, both wins and losses.
It's like you were trying to learn from his experience, understand the lessons he's learned along the way.
And then we have those searches for Colin Cowherd, the sports commentator known for, well, let's just say his strong opinions.
It seems like some of you were curious about his pre-game analysis, maybe hoping to gain an edge or just looking for some entertaining commentary.
It's all part of the fun, right?
Yeah.
Engaging with different perspectives and sparking those passionate discussions.
Absolutely. So we've covered the Eagles' victory, Jalen Hurts' MVP performance, the coaching strategies, even the halftime show confusion.
But what does it all tell us about the future of fandom? What can we learn from these seemingly random searches?
All right, so we've been on this incredible journey through your Super Bowl LIX searches.
And let me tell you, it's been an eye-opener. You all are way more than just casual viewers.
You're digging deep, connecting the dots, almost like armchair analysts.
Exactly. And one of the most fascinating things we've noticed is this trend toward a more, I don't know, player-centric kind of fandom.
Yeah, it's not just about rooting for your team anymore. It's about connecting with those individual players.
Absolutely. Think about those searches for Jalen Hurts, Alabama. People weren't just interested in his stats. They wanted to understand his background, his journey.
It's like they were looking beyond the uniform, trying to get to know the person behind the athlete.
Right. It's like they're searching for that authenticity, that relatability.
I wonder if that's a reflection of, just how our culture is changing. We want to see the real people behind the larger-than-life personas.
I think you're onto something there.
Yeah.
And social media definitely plays a role, right?
Oh, for sure. It's like fans have this direct line to the players now, a glimpse into their lives off the field.
And players are using those platforms to share their stories, connect with fans, even advocate for causes.
Which brings us to another interesting trend. Those searches related to fan experiences, both in person and virtual.
It's like the Super Bowl has become less about just watching and more about actively participating.
Right. Think about those searches for Broad Street celebrations, Super Bowl watch parties, even best Super Bowl memes.
People wanted to share the experience, the excitement, the agony, and the ecstasy of it all.
And technologies has made it so much easier to connect with other fans no matter where you are.
Absolutely. Whether it's through live tweeting, virtual watch parties, or even just sharing those hilarious memes.
It's amazing how the Super Bowl has become this, cultural phenomenon that brings people together.
It transcends geographical boundaries, generations. It's something we all share.
So what does this all mean for the future of fandom? What's next?
Well, I think one thing's for sure. Fans aren't just sitting back and watching anymore.
They want to be involved. They want to shape the narrative, connect with the players in new ways.
And technology is giving them the tools to do just that.
Virtual reality experiences, personalized content feeds, the possibilities are pretty much endless.
It's definitely an exciting time to be a fan. So as we wrap up this deep dive into Super Bowl LIX.
What are some key takeaways you hope everyone walks away with?
Well, first of all, fandom is changing. It's becoming more interactive, more immersive.
And technology is playing a huge role in that evolution.
But at the end of the day, the Super Bowl still has this incredible power to bring people together, to spark those passionate conversations.
To create memories that last a lifetime. Well said. And for anyone listening who wants to keep exploring, keep digging into that data.
Don't be afraid to ask questions, to go down those rabbit holes.
Yes, you never know what you might discover. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Super Bowl LIX.